Hi, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, you have my February unboxings. And as is becoming usual, we're starting it off with Book of the Month. They don't seem to have that nice little slide open box anymore, but that's okay. There is something rattling in here, and I'm not really sure what it is. Most likely a bookmark, we should hope. We shall see. It is likely the bookmark. It was on top, and it probably was going back and forth. This is interesting. Not really sure what this has to do with books. But, so they are, so I did upside down. So my choice for the picks for this month is a debut novel, River, Sing Me Home by Eleanor Shear. This is the story of an enslaved woman looking for her children. And obviously this being that month and me wanting to diversify my reads, I wanted to pick this one up. I'm really excited about it. It's not very long. I am also trying to branch out in the genres that I choose, and this is more literary historical fiction, I believe. And then the other two that I chose are both nonfiction reads. One is a memoir, and one is more like political history, I guess. So the first one, and this is a whole lot shorter than I thought, but this is called Somebody's Daughter, memoir by Ashley C. Ford. And she is dealing with, I think it's the fact that her father went to prison, and she's chronicling her journey through dealing with that. And I also believe she is a woman of color. Yes, this is her author picture here on the back. So I'm excited about that. And this will be a nice, not easy as in topic easy, but easy as in length read. And then my last one is Doing Justice, A Prosecutor's Thoughts on Crime, Punishment, and the Rule of Law by Preet Bharara. This is obviously nonfiction. I guess it's memoir-ish, but it's more his thoughts on these topics. And he is, I believe he is Indian American. This is his author picture here. So these are the three that I have chosen for Book of the Month this time. And underneath you have the little symbol. So, oh, I like that mustard yellow color. We have, whoops, February 2023. And then let's see what month these were the picks for. The other ones. This is December 2021. I remember before I had decided to do Book of the Month books to subscribe, this was one of the ones in those, you know, because Book of the Month is a popular sponsor for booktubers. I don't like the feel of this cover. It's not matte and it's not glossy. I don't know how to describe it, but this was the pick for, oh, this is an old but good, I hope. This is April 2019. And as I'm thinking about this, I remember now Preet Bharara came to sort of fame, became infamous because he was fired by the former president for standing up and not caving into something. Not sure exactly what, but I'm sure I'll find out in this. Okay, we are back with another quick unboxing. Another book unboxing. It is my comics subscription. Immediately post-run as well, hence why my hair looks like this. So we take off this. We have the secondary sleeve. For this one, I think the book was supposed to be way more comic book-like, and I think by that point I had read Far Sector and realized comic book style, not necessarily a genre that I am drawn to, and I wasn't really drawn to the theme of it either, so I decided to switch it out. I'm so excited about it, but I'm also kind of nervous just because this is such a good book, but also a hard-hitting book. I got the graphic novel version of Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. This book packs a punch, and I've heard that the graphic novel version also packs a punch, so I'm really excited to read this. Okay, I am back with another unboxing. This is a Lumicrate, my book-only subscription. I have no idea whether this is December or January. I know it's not February because they don't ship until later in the month, so we shall see. I know what January's is and can recall it right now because I just watched an unboxing of it yesterday, I believe. And I knew what December's was, but I've long since forgotten. So we shall see. I don't understand why they have the squigglies, but then the book. So this is actually the January. So I do not have December's. So I'm going to take the plastic wrap off of it. I really wish they would not do plastic wrap. It's such a waste. It's like you're doing plastic, but then you have the environmentally friendly paper squiggles. Tell me how that makes sense. So this is a book that's not really actually available in the US, I think. I don't think it was published in the US, so it's really cool that I have it. I was intrigued by it, not enough to make the extra effort to try to get it. And then I saw someone's wrap up where they read it in January, and I forget who it was, but it was someone who has very similar fantasy tastes to me, and they said, oh, it was fine. Middle of the road. Oh, it was Jade from J.D. Reads. It's like a 3-star read. I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe I'll enjoy it more. Maybe I won't. We shall see. This is the double-sided Dear Reader letter. I never actually read those. And then this is the book. It is gorgeous. It's called God Killer by Hannah Kaner or Kaner. I believe this is a debut. Got a little bit of a synopsis on the back, and then we have these gorgeous sprayed edges. They will always get me with the gorgeous sprayed edges. And I believe that this is printed on the hardcover. Yes, it is. I love these, although I'm not a big fan of people on my cover. However, I love the texture of the printed on, and I just love that it's on here. And also that you have the title on the spine if you wanted to leave it without the dust jacket. Now, what is this book about? A brief synopsis. Basically, the gods did something to get them on the, oh, I forgot about the end pages. They're just so pretty. So basically, the gods did something to get them on everybody's hit list. So it's open season on killing the gods. And the whole thing for me with that, it's like, doesn't that defeat the purpose of calling them a god? A god is supposed to be this untouchable mythical being that people worship. And yet more and more people in fantasy are using it as like, they're just something supernatural. Which, potato, potato, but to me, that's one of the things I have a problem with. But the main character is hired to, like, that's what she does. She's a god killer, hence the name. And she's hired to kill this one particular god, but he's connected to another human. And so she can't kill the god without harming the human or killing the human. And that can't happen, so they have to figure it out. Here we go. Here's God Killer. That is my January Illumicrate. Okay, so we have the next box in my unboxings, and it's one that I'm really glad it's here because you may have noticed I haven't been unboxing any Goldsboro books. I didn't in January, and that's because my January book still has not arrived. And up until just a few minutes ago, neither had my February box. I'm kind of bummed that my January box has not arrived yet because I really, really want that one. Jade from J.D. Reads read that and loved it. It was a 5-star book, and our fantasy tastes pretty much align almost all the time. And it's polar fantasy, and I'm really excited about it. But you said that one? No. I looked back. I emailed them about it, their general inquiries email on February 9th. It's now the 25th. That's over 2 weeks. Of course, I get the automated reply. We'll get back to you within 3 to 5 days, or we should get back to you within 3 to 5 days. 16 days, a little beyond 3 to 5 days. I emailed again last week. Still haven't heard anything. So I emailed again today. We shall see if I hear anything. I'll probably have to update that my February book has come, but still, the date on this, I looked at the invoice, February 1st. And then the signature, the date on the customs declaration, February 15th. I'm going to assume that the order was placed on the 1st and that there was a delay in getting it out. But where is my January box? Better give me a refund or give me my book. That being said, let's open up February's box. Again, I'm glad they package it well, but one book does not need this much packaging. Who needs this much packaging? Trying to kill the planet, Goldsboro? Anyway, okay. pause for just a second while I take the library everything off the dust cover, and I'm looking up here because I'm not looking at anything yet. Okay, I am really excited about this one as well. I'm a bit of a nerd. You'll see why I'm really excited about this one. Okay, so this book is Shield Maiden by Sharon Emmerichs. I'm really excited about this one. The main character is the niece of Beowulf. I loved reading Beowulf when I got to study in my Brit Lit class in college. She has always wanted to be a shield maiden, go on to do amazing things like her uncle, but she becomes disabled at some point, a terrible accident, and she believes that she can't do all this. But she actually has some sort of power, and there's a dragon that comes into this. So like Beowulf, dragon, shield maiden, like this is right up my nerdy alley. I'm really excited about this. So I love the coloring on this, and we've got very simplistic but beautiful sprayed edges there. Stenciled edges, I don't know which is which. And then I love the very simplistic design on this. See, I'm really excited about this, and I love the Goldsboro subscription. I just wish that I had my January book and that they'd respond back to it. So we have the signature, and I'm book 847 out of 2000, fairly low number this time. So you'll see me very soon with what hopefully is 2 different Fairy Loot unboxings, and I don't know, maybe another Illumicrate if they get their act together and get their February book out. Okay, so we have the last unboxing of the month. No, it is not either of my Fairy Loots. What I have decided, because Fairy Loot comes so late in the month and usually a few days into the next month, to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to shift the Fairy Loot unboxings to be some of the first unboxings of the month. So the unboxing that I have is one of my quarterly boxes, and I've had an interesting time customer service wise with this company because I'll go ahead and tell you, it is TBR, Tailored Book Recommendation, and from 3 months ago I got 2 duplicates in that box, and the one before that, 3 months before that, I got a duplicate in that one. And getting 1 duplicate, okay, I understand that. The second time around, getting those 2 duplicates, I was really disappointed. So I reached out to their customer service and let them know about these duplicates and was there anything that they could do for me. I got some less than satisfactory responses. It was kind of basically implied, it's up to you to update your Goodreads profile to make sure that we don't have any duplicates. And I get that they're not going to know exactly what my TBR is, and the fact that, you know, I subscribe to different subscriptions and etc. And I asked them, and I don't think it has ever gotten across to them, because Goodreads, number 1, does not have an owned shelf. I think they've even taken away that feature that used to be part of what you could add to books. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, my TBR is not books I own. It's books I'm interested in reading. And on my profile, I mentioned I want stuff that I like, and also things that are a little bit of a stretch. So I figured, hey, for the ones that, you know, I like, they might choose something off of my TBR. But apparently they don't. If it's on my TBR, they don't get me that book. I had a very, very unsatisfactory round of emails, and finally I'm just like, forget it. So when I got the email that said this next one was coming up, go ahead and make sure that you update your profile, I went in and I put in, hey, I subscribe to these subscriptions, these are the books that I'm getting, and added a few more things. Like, I thought I was doing what I needed to do. Lo and behold, I get an email from customer service. Them reaching out after seeing that and saying, hey, we saw what you put on there. Generally, you need to make sure that you update your Goodreads profile, and these places don't announce their books ahead of time, so it's impossible for us to know. I was just kind of like, I already had a fruitless discussion with you guys. Why are you bringing this up? And I went through, I made a response, something like, well, this one subscription, it actually does announce 2 months ahead of time what the book's going to be. And I went through a few things and kind of was like, why are you reaching out to me to tell me the same thing? To tell me that it's basically up to me again. And their response was basically said something, and then at the end was like, if this is not the subscription for you, then you can go ahead and cancel. How is that good customer service? Like, it's so annoying, and it makes getting this subscription almost not worth it because of this customer service and the way that they do these sorts of things. And if there's a duplicate in this box, I am going to the computer right now and canceling. So hopefully there won't be any duplicates. But when I got that first box, I was so excited about all of those books. I still haven't read one of them, which I need to get to. But I loved all of the choices in that. And the second box, I loved the 2 choices that weren't duplicates. Hopefully we have something good here. Story time is done. So we have just a basic box with some paper on top. Okay, I'm super nervous opening this. Ooh, I have never heard of this one. Oh, interesting. This is a short story collection, an anthology of 32 original stories showcasing the breadth of fantasy and science fiction from Africa and the African diaspora. Africa Rising. Okay, okay. This is a good one. I'm good with this one. This next one I have seen around. Obviously, I don't own it so far. No duplicates. I'm not looking at the third one because I can't stand that. This one is called A Million to One. This is basically like an Ocean's 11 on, or an Ocean's 8 on the Titanic. It'll depend on whether they do that whole take a historical trope and mix it up just a little bit well enough, because I've had books where it fails and then books where it wins, like My Imaginary Mary. So hopefully this is good. Yay, no duplicates. Okay. But, okay. So this is actually nonfiction and I'm excited about this. This is called Blood and Ink, the scandalous jazz age double murder that hooked America on true crime. Wow. Okay. See, I'm going to keep this subscription. I think these were all excellent. This kind of falls right sort of into my wheelhouse. It's not necessarily one that I would pick up right away. You know, I do buy things based on covers and I'm not a huge fan of the cover, but I love historical fiction. I'm trying to read more of it. Then this is a little bit of a stretch, but not that much. And I love this cover. This cover definitely appeals to me. And I read a lot of true crime. And then this one is definitely a stretch for me because I don't think I own any anthologies. So I'm really excited to see. So the authors, let's see. I wonder if it has an author list. Wow, this retails at $28. Wow. Okay. So, oh, there's several other previous anthologies by this group. I'm trying to see if there's any names that I know. I don't know any of these names, so I think that's cool that I get to try a whole bunch of new authors. Okay, so now let's take a look at the little letter that they wrote. I think this is definitely a different bibliologist that did this one than the previous one, so that's good. Okay, so A Million to One. This historical adventure brings together 4 women from different backgrounds with the goal of pulling off the ultimate heist while on board the luxurious Titanic. A pickpocket, a painter, an actress, and an acrobat team up to steal a book worth enough money to change each of their lives. But of course, things don't all go according to plan. Africa Risen. To branch out a bit from your typical genres, okay, this is my branch out one. My next pick for you is this collection of short stories. I think you'll enjoy these stories with their non-Western perspectives and incorporation of a bunch of different African mythologies and lessons. Some stories, like Exiles of Witchery, lean towards the fantasy end of the spectrum, while others, like The Blue House, are more sci-fi. And Blood and Ink. I see you've recently added Killers of the Flower Moon on Goodreads. I forget what that's about, but I am interested in that. It's another true crime thing. So I chose this historical true crime tale as your final recommendation for this round. This is the true story of the Jazz Age murders of a reverend and his affair partner, Eleanor Mills, in New Jersey. Since both victims were married, the crime sent shockwaves of scandal across the country. With investigative ineptitude, plenty of finger-pointing, and no real suspects, the case remains unsolved to this day. Okay, didn't know that. So there you go. I was really nervous making this the last unboxing of this video of this month, but we managed to end it on a really good note. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.